This was humanity's very first attempt to artificially breed xenomorphs. As everyone knows, normal xenomorphs don't have a reproductive system. They can only reproduce through facehuggers that implant embryos inside human hosts. But now, this lab is trying something different, extracting xenomorph eggs directly. The egg's shell is incredibly tough. Even using a chainsaw, researchers struggled for a while before cutting through. Inside, however, the inner wall is soft. A light slice with a scalpel reveals the vague shape of the embryo. Sensing danger, the creature starts to twitch inside its shell, releasing low-frequency sound waves, inaudible to humans, to call for help. As the researcher picks up the surgical knife, that wave of danger spreads to the other eggs. Fortunately, the researcher isn't just a normal human. A baby facehugger hatches prematurely. He uses an electric shotgun to subdue it. From there, the work gets simpler. The facehugger's abdomen is soft and easy to open, but the scientist must be careful. Like the xenomorph itself, its blood is pure acid. The purpose of the dissection is to find the xenomorph embryo inside the facehugger. It looks like a worm, but when dropped into water, it swims like a fish. The embryo is then moved to another lab, one containing organic waste, freshly removed from human hosts. In just under a day, with enough tissue to feed on, that tiny egg grows into a xenomorph larva. At first glance, it looks like a snake, but on closer look, you can see its alien features forming. If someone wanted to keep one as a pet, this early stage would be the only time possible. Once it grows any bigger, that's impossible. One of the lab's caretakers, Wendy, who's actually learned the xenomorph's vocal frequencies. Through sound, she's managed to communicate with it. Hours later, the xenomorph begins growing limbs and becomes much more aggressive. Luckily, the lab uses reinforced glass. Escape is impossible unless something goes very wrong. Wendy continues to train it, believing that with enough patience, it might someday be tamed. The only problem? Xenomorphs grow insanely fast. Within hours, this one has reached adult size. But this alien lab doesn't only contain xenomorphs. To study how another alien species hunts, scientists place an eyeball creature inside a pen with a sheep. Don't be fooled by its small size, and attacks instantly. Within seconds, the sheep's screams stop. Its eyes have been replaced by the creature's own. Now, the eyeball has taken control of the sheep's body, effectively using it as a host. It even learns how to walk on 4 legs after a brief adjustment. From the sensor readings, it's hard to say what kind of life form the sheep even is anymore. But even aliens have basic needs: eating, drinking, excreting. And they're cared for by another android, Lanny. Feeding them is surprisingly simple. The eyeball creature feeds through the sheep, so as long as the sheep eats grass, the parasite is fed too. Then there's the meat-eating plant alien. After greeting it politely, Lanny moves on to a metallic-eating insect creature. He prepares some metal ores for it, but something's jammed the feeding hatch. When he tries to pull, he hopes they'll recognize him as their caretaker. They don't. The feeding insects release corrosive acid, eating through his body in seconds. The eyeball creature watches, emotionless, then happily goes to eat its grass, its meal. The lab has surveillance, of course. The supervisor sees everything, but he doesn't intervene. Survival of the fittest applies even to machines. Meanwhile, other synthetics begin to malfunction. One, named Neil, shocks everyone by claiming, "I'm pregnant." Dr. May, who leads the synthetic program, is stunned. Synthetics don't have wombs. They're powered by advanced batteries. They don't eat or reproduce. May tries to explain gently, but Neil insists she can feel another life inside. Then she snaps. For the first time, a synthetic becomes aggressive toward a human. When guards arrive, Neil is restrained. May is trembling. She almost got her neck broken. The boys carry the xenomorph embryo toward the sea, but when they return for Arthur's body, it's gone. Moments later, Arthur reappears, alive but wrong. He doesn't remember what happened. Ike lies to him, saying there's an evacuation. Arthur follows, but as they reach the shore, he remembers. The attack, the egg, the pain. Before he can speak, he collapses. The xenomorph bursts from his chest. Ike panics. The embryo he was supposed to deliver just escaped into the wild. Meanwhile, Tengu's special forces storm the island to steal specimens. But the lab's director has set a trap, using all of them as bait. Now, both megacorporations are at war. unleashing chaos that could destroy Earth. The story takes place in 2012-20, 2 years before Alien Covenant. The alien lifeforms were brought from deep space by Tengu's research ship, which launched back in 2055, even earlier than the Prometheus mission. By this time, Earth is no longer ruled by nations, but by 5 giant tech corporations. Tengu focuses on bioengineered humans, half-machine soldiers. Their rival, Shentong Corporation, specializes in synthetic humans, transferring child consciousness into robotic bodies. And now, the battle between biomechs and synthetics begins. Because when humanity plays God with alien life, extinction is only one experiment away.
If you want next part of this series, do 500 likes and 20 comments.